So today we're going to be doing a quick preview of the Ireland vs South Africa T20 series set to take place at the Zayed Stadium in Abu Dhabi. Of course, all the matches are there. Two T20s followed up by three ODIs. Now, South Africa's white ball shenanigans, and I say shenanigans because it hasn't gone so well, has started off with a series loss to Afghanistan at Sharjah. How do we think this is going to go then, Kuv? A white ball series against Ireland?
Yeah, no, I think the boys should have more than enough quality to win the series. Thankfully, we won that last game against Afghanistan, so hopefully we take some confidence going into these two T20s and three ODIs. But no, we haven't fallen that far down to be struggling against Ireland. It's a perfect series, I think, following the Afghanistan series, to get some confidence back. And I don't foresee any major hiccups. I think we'll win all 5 games in the T20s and ODIs. But what I want to see is I want to see convincing performances. I don't want to see any close matches. I don't want to see any matches where we've got to be sitting at the edge of our seats. I want this to be a comfortable series win.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that the Irish can have too many complaints with us smacking them 5-0 here. Well, I mean that with no disrespect, but this isn't rugby. On that front, they can
Mhm.
have some arguments, and perhaps it comes from them only about who is the best team in the world. For me and for us, I would think, as Box fans, we need 4 World Cups to be able to have a big mouth.
Hmm.
But regardless, on the cricket front, I don't think they offer much. And as you're saying, I would hope that it's not like the T20 World Cup where we sat on the edge of our seats pretty much every match. I think 50 run wins,
Yeah,
as you alluded to, and some thorough beatings would be good to see with this fairly young squad. Now, I'm going to say we're not going to waste too much time here. Who do you think should be the starting 11 from this squad?
yeah, that's a good question. I mean, we've commented on this before that the discrepancies between the squads in the Afghanistan series and this series, they're quite different, and we were struggling to pinpoint exactly why. I'm glad to see Rickleton back into the squad. I think he goes straight
Definitely.
in. I personally would just, I mean, I know you're gonna agree with me. Riza shouldn't be playing, so I would actually
100%
go.
agree.
I'd actually go Rickleton and Matthew Breeska up front. It's a perfect
Yeah.
series to ease him into it. He's been on the fringes for a while now, and I think he should play both of these games, if not the ODIs as well. But at least the T20s, he should be playing both. Riza's had enough cricket over this time, and if it is the way we foresee it being an easy series, I think it's a perfect series to get Pritzker in.
Yeah, I think that as a top two, Rickleton, Bielska, and then possibly go Markram at 3 or Markram at 4 and Stubbs vice versa. I still think you can pop in Jason Smith just below that at 5 before trying out the all-rounders. Now, the
I
all-rounder
agree.
debate is interesting because we've got Patrick Kruger, Samalani, who didn't get a shout in Sharjah when we all thought that he should have. And of course, you've
Hmm.
got Vian Mulder, who is sort of coming into a little bit of a useful form. I don't
Hmm.
think he's been great,
That's
but he's
it's
shown
interesting.
murmurs of possibility.
Yeah, I know. I fully agree. I think Jason Smith is more than capable of batting five, and if we do that, I'm not opposed to popping all three all-rounders in there:
Yeah.
Mulder, Samalane, and Kruger, and that gives us batting until about eight. Some bowling options. Then we go with two seamers, and I think we throw Mr. Nkaba Peter into the mix.
Yeah. So Ngaba Pizza definitely has to be there. The funny thing is, he's actually held the bat quite well against Afghanistan, surprisingly. I don't
Mhm.
think he did too bad. He didn't score many runs, but he looked somewhat assured. I think definitely, yeah, you pop the lad in, then you give him another shot. You keep trying him until it comes good because we've been crying out for leg spin. Another other thing is, Jason
Okay.
Smith can also be quite useful with ball in hand. So then you go into a match having two seamers, possibly two spinners, and four proper all rounders that can give you a little bit. In
Mhm.
tough conditions, it might work out well for us. And at the very least, what we're going to find out is who is the best all rounder for us going forward.
No, I agree. Play them. The one person that I am a bit sad that isn't in the squad is our boy Quena. I think again, similar
Yeah.
argument for Brietska. Could have been an ideal series for him. Um, the boys that are in the squad who played against Afghanistan, they don't warrant their spots there.
I think for the
So
first time, I'm not too disheartened about Quena's omission because I think it has a lot to do with his schooling. He, of course, is in matric, so
Okay.
a lot needs to happen on that end. And I think kudos to them for allowing him to take that seriously as well, because cricket is not the be all end all. There has to be a backup plan, and yeah,
Not in
Quina
South
seems like a
Africa at
smart
the
lad.
moment.
Yeah, in South Africa at the moment. That is a debate for another day, but yeah, it's quite interesting. I think when Quena is done, he's definitely going to come back into the side, and he deserves every shot. The other one that could have possibly been in the squad is Dewald Brevis. He performed quite well at the back end of that SAA series against Sri Lanka. He made a 49 and a 74 in the last of those tests, if you can call them that. And I think he's been in the press quite a bit recently, saying that he understands he has to earn his stripes before he makes it into the team. But I think it's a perfect opportunity. I don't like that we in this current squad. It looks like there's a bit of a gap between 4 to 6. They could have possibly included another batsman, maybe even kept Zorzi in the squad. It would be nice to see Brevis there, but nonetheless, we'll go with it as it is. Bowling front, Ngidi and who do we go? Ngidi Lazard Williams, Ngidi Nandre Berger.
I'd actually go on Andre Berger apartment. You've got Mulder, you've got Kruger.
Fair enough. I
So
completely forgot that Otniel's in the
apartment
side, and
for a
he
little,
definitely has to
yeah.
start.
Yeah, so I'd go on Andre Berger for some pace, Otniel Bartman for some experience, cricketing experience, not necessarily international level experience, but we know he bowls well at the death. So I'd actually go Bartman, Nandre. Then you've got Mulder, Kruger, like you said, Jason Smith can toss a ball, and then we've got our boy Peter there. So I think there's enough bowling options. Aiden Markram if need be. So
Yeah, Markram's bowled quite a bit. It was actually quite nice seeing him get on the board with runs at last in that last game. I
yeah,
would hope that,
finally.
as Kum said in a previous episode, there's always this feeling with Markram that when he hits that purple patch, much like Klaasen has in recent times, it's gonna be good for a long time. So I would hope that that purple patch starts or has started already, and he carries it right into the Champions Trophy. But nice to see him make runs.
Side note, what did you think of Timba's inclusion in that last game against Afghanistan?
Yeah, look, they're gonna persist with Temba, right? Temba is ODI captain, and I always have had questions over his captaincy credentials. After his illness and coming back, I think, look, I can't slate him too much whilst on the same note backing Markram, because I think Temba's stats over the last 2 years in ODI cricket and Test cricket have been fairly decent. There's always an argument for him not being in the T20 side, and I think rightly so. And finally, for the first time ever, Temba's come to terms with it. He said that it's probably better that he's not included in that debate anymore because it's just controversial. I think he's finally seeing the light, and if he focuses just on the longer of the two formats, I think it's fine. He didn't perform that well in the series. I don't know if it's him being in shoddy form, not played a lot of cricket recently, or the illness itself, whatever it may have been. But I think it's warranted giving him a shot because there's been a lot of disruption in that top order. Having someone that, as we've said with the bowling, a little bit of experience might come in handy. And I don't think there's a lot else that you can really count on, like Rasi and the likes. When Miller's back, yeah, definitely. But then you have Miller, Klaasen, Markram, Tiamba Stubbs, and that's about it.
Yeah, no, I agree completely.
So we've said previously on red card, green card, no Riza, and I said no 14. I think if I had to ask you the same question now from this squad, apart from Lazard Williams, is there anyone else that you are just not happy seeing in the squad?
Mm, I still don't think Lungi deserves his spot there. Maybe, like you said, maybe he's there just to plug a gap until Quena is out of school, basically. But
Basically.
um, yeah, nah, Lazard Williams, Lungi Ngidi.
Yeah, I would agree, but the problem is what else do we have in our stocks at the moment with Gerald and Janssen still being missing in action? So
Yeah,
problems, but we'll delve more into it when we cover the review of this series, the T20 series, and then the preview of the ODI series in the same episode. That'll be up next very soon before the ODI starts. Now, as a last question before we end off this preview, series prediction, you're going 2-0?
gotta. Has to
Yeah,
be.
I
Anything
agree.
less is a complete failure, and the state of South African cricket is worse than we feared.
Absolutely. I'm going to go 2-0 as well. As you said, If we don't do it, and if we don't do it convincingly, as you said earlier, absolute failure. Now, that was a pretty short preview, and we'll keep it short because T20s, short cricket. Now, we'll cover this in more depth when we get to the ODI series. But if you did enjoy this little preview, please drop us a like, hit the subscribe button, and you can also catch us on all the audio platforms. Until the next one, don't forget to pour shots and cheers.